Todd Chrisley shares his 3 blessings, leaving 2 out. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. Former Chrisley Knows Best star Todd Chrisley is sharing his 3 blessings, but seems to ignore 2 others. So what makes him feel blessed now that he has been pardoned and released from prison? Keep reading for more details. Todd Chrisley shares his 3 blessings. It has been a whirlwind month for reality stars Julie and Todd Chrisley. He was serving a 12-year sentence, while Julie was serving 7 years, so they would be away for a collective 19 years. Fortunately, their daughter Savannah Chrisley never gave up on them and fought tooth and nail for their freedom. After over 2 years behind bars, President Donald Trump pardoned the couple. He called Savannah and her brother Grayson to break the good news. Within 24 hours, they had been released, and everyone was reunited. Todd and Julie are determined to help others who are trapped in prison but should be freed. While trying to help others as they are also celebrating family time. They have done interviews and press conferences to share some of their experience and how it feels to be home. Todd recently shared a snap of 3 of his children, Grayson, Chase, and Savannah. In the caption he wrote, he tagged the 3, but noticeably absent from his posting were his wife, Julie, and his youngest, Chloe. Chloe was adopted by Todd and Julie when she was just a baby because her parents were unfit. Her father is Todd Chrisley's son, Kyle, but they have had a very rough relationship. Todd also has a daughter, Lindsay Chrisley, but Savannah has slammed her for helping their parents get convicted. Regardless, Todd has been married to Julie for nearly 30 years, and Chloe is the apple of his eye. So why were they left out? And did his followers notice how he favored 3 family members? It must also be noted that his mother, Nanny Faye, was not featured, and she supported him for years. Where are the others? Of course, followers were thrilled that Todd Chrisley could share his thoughts and blessings from his home without being watched. However, they could not ignore that Chloe Chrisley was not pictured. She has always been a spark in the family, and there was no reason for her to be snubbed. Furthermore, it seemed Chase Chrisley was estranged from his siblings for a short time. He was not on any family trips or engaging with them, which was suspicious. Where is Chloe? What about Kyle and Lindsay? Are they not your world also? You have 2 other older kids. No matter what happened between you and them, you are the parent. Todd Chrisley was disciplined by fans who did not like his exclusion of his other children, even the ones he was estranged from. It showed poor character, and many have high hopes for his post-prison life. Hopefully, he does another post to show he has equal love for his whole family, and not just 3 children. Todd Chrisley, known for his larger-than-life personality, and the hit reality series Chrisley Knows Best, has once again stirred conversation after making a deeply personal post from behind bars reflecting on the things he holds most dear. Todd, now serving time following his high-profile conviction on fraud charges, took a moment to share what he described as his greatest blessings in life. But what caught many off guard was not what he said, but rather what he chose to leave out. In a heartfelt message relayed through family channels, Todd listed 3 people as his biggest blessings, emphasizing how these individuals have remained loyal, loving, and faithful throughout his current journey of hardship and redemption. The post struck a tender chord with fans who have been watching the Chrisley family saga unfold in real time. However, the absence of 2 other key figures in his life was unmistakable and left followers of the once tight-knit clan speculating and somewhat heartbroken. The 3 blessings named were his wife Julie, who is also incarcerated, their youngest son Grayson, and his beloved mother Nanny Faye, each of whom have stood by him publicly during the family's darkest times. Todd described Julie as the anchor of his soul, someone whose strength in adversity has inspired him daily. Grayson was praised for his maturity and compassion, despite his young age, while Nanny Faye continues to bring laughter and warmth. Even in the midst of sorrow, Todd's words painted a picture of unwavering loyalty within a crumbling reality. he said that the love he receives from these three keeps him grounded, gives him hope, and reminds him that no matter where he is physically, he is never truly alone. But the internet quickly took note of who was missing from that list. Todd made no mention of his older children, Savannah and Chase, both of whom had previously been central figures on the family's show and had often been portrayed as his pride and joy. Their absence from the message has prompted waves of commentary online from fans and critics alike, some questioning whether the family has fractured more deeply than they let on, others defending Todd's possible reasons, pointing to recent public tension and subtle distance between the father and his two adult children. Savannah, in particular, has taken on a major role since her parents' incarceration, raising her younger siblings and managing the family's affairs. She has been vocal in interviews and on social media about the challenges of navigating this chapter and her enduring love for her parents. However, some have pointed out subtle shifts in tone in recent weeks, suggesting that all might not be as close as it once was. Chase has maintained a lower profile, choosing not to engage as publicly, but still showing support for his parents during major updates. Yet Todd's post suggests a painful divide that fans can't help but notice. Insiders close to the family have hinted at underlying tensions and growing differences in how the Chrisley children are choosing to handle the family's legal fallout. While Grayson and Nanny Faye have kept their faith in Todd and Julie strong and vocal, Savannah and Chase may be grappling with complex emotions of disappointment, pressure, and the need for independence from the scandal's heavy shadow. Whatever the reasons may be, Todd's message has opened another chapter in the ongoing drama that has followed the Chrisleys, from reality TV stardom to courtroom headlines and now to prison walls. It's a story that continues to evolve and captivate. As much as it confounds, fans can't help but recall the family's earlier days on screen, where loyalty, laughter, and love seemed to be their brand and bond. Now it appears that bond has been strained, possibly frayed by years of fame, personal choices, and legal battles. The omission of Savannah and Chase has not gone unnoticed by them either. Sources say that Savannah was hurt by the message, not because she seeks validation, but because she's worked tirelessly to be a rock for her siblings and maintain a sense of unity in a broken time. As for Chase, those close to him claim he was stunned and confused, unsure if the snub was intentional or symbolic of a deeper rift. Some argue that Todd may have simply spoken from a place of pain, focusing on those he feels closest to in his current emotional and physical confinement. Others speculate that this was a message, a signal sent through carefully chosen words, highlighting not just gratitude, but also unresolved wounds and unspoken grievances. Still, the post has reignited the ever-burning interest in the Chrisley family dynamic, with fans poring over past episodes, interviews, and social media posts for signs that might explain this latest twist. As the dust settles, there are growing calls for the family to address the message and clarify the state of their relationships. While some believe it's a private matter, others insist that the Chrisleys have long lived in the public eye and owe their audience a degree of honesty and closure. The Chrisleys once marketed themselves as a picture-perfect family full of charm and Southern values, but now that picture is splintered and the cracks are showing in real time. Todd's declaration of his three blessings might have been intended as a beacon of love and faith, but it has become a mirror reflecting just how fractured things might truly be within the Chrisley household. Whether reconciliation is possible remains to be seen. What is clear is that the journey of Todd, Julie, and their family continues to unfold, with all the drama, heartache, and raw emotion that made them famous to begin with. For now, fans are left watching, waiting, and hoping that behind the silence and carefully crafted statements, there is still a path toward healing for every member of the Chrisley family. Todd Chrisley, once the boisterous patriarch of the reality television series Chrisley Knows Best, has broken his silence from behind bars and offered a rare and emotional glimpse into his current mindset. Serving time following his conviction for financial crimes, Todd remains a figure of fascination and controversy, But his recent message naming his three biggest blessings has stirred emotions and speculation alike. In the wake of his incarceration, Todd has largely relied on intermediaries, family members, and close associates to relay his thoughts to the public. This time, through a trusted family outlet, Todd sent a message that focused not on legal appeals or public defense, but on gratitude and love. He named three people who he believes have never wavered in their devotion, and whose presence, even from afar, continues to uplift him daily: his wife Julie, his youngest son Grayson, and his mother, known affectionately to fans as Nanny Faye. According to Todd, these three individuals represent the heart of his strength. They are his emotional lifelines. In a time defined by loss, loneliness, and introspection, he praised Julie for her unwavering strength and courage as she serves her own sentence at a different facility, while expressing pride in how she continues to carry herself with dignity. He spoke of Grayson with profound admiration, calling him a young man who has handled more than any teenager should have to, and still remains kind and steady. And of course, Nanny Faye remains a beacon of comfort and humor. A spirited grandmother who brought light to countless moments on their show continues to be a pillar of support. Todd's words painted a portrait of three individuals whose love has remained unconditional and whose belief in him has not wavered even as the world watched their family crumble. But it wasn't just the heartfelt praise that captured public attention. It was the glaring absence of two people who have long been front and center in the Chrisley family narrative: Savannah and Chase, Todd's older children, who were once his closest confidants, were notably not mentioned in the message, and that silence has spoken volumes. In the aftermath of his statement, fans flocked to social media, with reactions ranging from sorrow to outrage. The once unshakable image of a tightly bonded Southern family seems to be unraveling before the public's eyes. While some interpreted Todd's message as a moment of sincere vulnerability, others couldn't help but question the reasons behind the exclusions. Savannah Chrisley has been one of the most vocal and visible family members since Todd and Julie entered prison. She took custody of her younger brother and niece, and has shouldered the weight of keeping the family's affairs in order. She's appeared in multiple interviews, defended her parents publicly, and offered glimpses into her own emotional struggles, navigating life without them by her side. Yet despite her efforts, Todd's omission of her name has left many wondering whether a deeper rift has formed. Chase, on the other hand, has maintained a lower public profile in recent months, choosing privacy over publicity, though he occasionally expresses support and hope. His relationship with Todd has remained less defined and now less visible. Todd's choice to call out only three blessings may have been rooted in emotion rather than exclusion, but in the court of public opinion, such nuances are easily lost. The reality is that the Chrisley family is living through a real-life unraveling, one that is playing out in headlines, podcasts, and social media comments. While Todd's message may have been meant as a spiritual reflection, it has opened the door to new scrutiny, new speculation, and possibly new pain. Insiders close to the family suggest that the situation is more complex than it appears, that behind the scenes there are layers of emotion, disappointment, and miscommunication shaping these relationships. Being a parent from prison is no easy task, and trying to preserve family unity under public observation adds another layer of difficulty. The emotional burden on each member of the family is heavy, with Julie separated from Todd, with Grayson still growing up, and with Nanny Faye aging. There is little that feels stable in the Chrisley's world anymore. Yet Todd's message, while controversial, has reignited conversations about forgiveness, healing, and the power of love in the face of hardship. Some fans have defended him, suggesting that the three people he named are those who have communicated with him most consistently and comforted him in his lowest moments. Others feel that love should be inclusive, especially in times of distress, and that by singling out just a few, Todd may be deepening wounds that already exist. As the story unfolds, the public continues to watch, hoping for resolution and restoration. The Chrisleys may have entered the limelight as a picture-perfect reality TV family, but they are now navigating a reality more complex than any episode could capture Todd's message about his three blessings may not have been about exclusion, but about holding close what he feels he can still depend on. Still, the fallout from his words has been undeniable. And whether intentional or not, it has altered the public's view of the family's dynamics. For now, Todd, Julie, and their children are scattered physically and emotionally, trying to navigate their new normal through letters, interviews, and brief phone calls. Behind each statement, there is hope and hurt, and behind each silence, there is a question that no one is quite ready to answer. As Todd continues to reflect from within prison walls, his thoughts carry weight not just for those he named, but for those he didn't. And perhaps the most powerful part of his message is the reminder that even those who seem strongest have moments of fragility, and even the most public families have stories they choose not to tell. The tale of the Chrisleys is far from over, and for all the chaos, heartache, and controversy, one thing is certain: the world is still watching, waiting, and wondering what comes next. Are you shocked at how Todd focused on Grayson, Chase, and Savannah? Moreover, should he include Lindsay and Kyle? Or do they not play a part in his present? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.